viewers, welcome everybody to another episode of Tolu Dialogues. Today I have with me a very special lady. When I say special, you know she's special. She's actually, I can say she's my friend. Hey, guys, she's my friend. Well, she's an entrepreneur. She's the brain behind the brand Adéy Soile. Join me as I welcome Tinuade of Adéy Soile. Hi, Tinuade.
Hi, thank you so much for having me, Tolu.
And thank you for having us in your space, your beautiful space. So I'm sure a lot of people have seen your designs, and some people know you, some people do not know you. So can you let the viewers know who is Tinuade of Adéy Soile?
Gosh, who's Tinuade? Well, I mean, to start with, I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I'm an entrepreneur. I love my friends, I love my family, I love design. So be it home design, fashion design, those are my passions. And I am a closet, I don't know if you call it closet since my page is open, but I'm a closet influencer.
I like that word about closet influencer because I already teased that when I came in earlier. By the way, our house is beautiful. The space is beautiful.
Thank you, Tolu.
And you know, I was teasing as I say, they're actually a content creator. I know I'm not a content creator because I don't get paid for it. And I'm like, okay, well. So now we've kind of alluded to that. So I'm happy about that. So I'm sure it would, one of the things we do on Tolu Dialogue is to know like your why, like why you started this business, your how you started it, and when you started it. So let's start with your why.
Why Adéy Soile? Why the fashion business? Okay, so it started a long time ago. I was working in a bank.
Okay.
And so I had moved back to Nigeria in 2010.
I was just going to say, were you working in a bank in Nigeria? Because I think everybody works in a bank in Nigeria.
Yeah, because they were hiring in the thousands.
Okay.
I mean, everybody wanted oil, but we settled for bank.
Okay.
So yeah, I moved back to Nigeria in 2010, and I was going to work in a bank. So I had chartered like suits and all of that because in my mind at the time, that was what people wore to banks, right? But then when I started working, I realized that, I wanted to have my own personality, my own individuality. I also saw a lot of like senior female bankers who, they had to dress a certain way, like, you want to look professional. And then they defaulted to suits. They defaulted to looking like a man. And I just felt like I didn't want women to feel that they had to lose their femininity because they were high achievers. So that was what sparked something in me that, men have their suits, that they wear to work. Why can't women have their power dresses? And at that time in Nigeria, there wasn't anywhere to get like solid power dresses from. So I saw that need and I started doing it. Actually, I started just making for myself. I come from a family of professionals. Okay. Nobody in my family is really like an entrepreneur like that. The path you told was, you go to university, you get your master's, and then you start your professional career, right? And that was what I thought I would always do. That was my path. So I didn't ever realize that I would actually be an entrepreneur. But as I started to make clothes for myself, people would ask for me to make for them, or ask where I got it from and ask for me to make for them. And then that's how it started. And my husband pushed me because he's very like entrepreneurial minded. So he really pushed me and I'm glad he did.
Oh, so I like the fact that, so I'm curious okay. Because coming from a family, which you said they were all professionals and you had to sort of toe the path, which I know, I think most people that have Nigerian parents know that going into fashion design is like, what? Power? So I'm curious, how did you manage to convince your parents into going into fashion design?
Okay, let me tell you a quick story.
Okay.
So when I was in secondary school, there gets to a part where you decide your subjects, whether you're going to be an art student, a science student, accountant, or whatever. So I think I had picked fashion designer and maybe actress and fashion designer or something. That's what I picked, my full chest. I wrote it there feeling cool. So my dad, in fact, it was my guidance counselor who called my dad that, look at what Tinuade wants to go and study in senior secondary school. And then my dad came to school, rah, 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 what's the meaning of this? You want to disgrace this family? He changed everything. He turned my fine arts to econs, my home ex, I ended up doing econs, geography, all sorts. Like, yeah, he really like shut it down. Or so he thought.
Well, I like that. So he thought.
So he thought.
And, yeah.
And as to how I broke it to him, I was married.
Okay, I like that. You're married, and I was like, Dad, I'm no longer in your house.
I didn't even tell him. I didn't tell him because I knew he wouldn't have taken it well. So I didn't tell him. I resigned, and months afterwards, I said, "Oh, Dad, by the way," and he was. The thing is, I understand his concern. He didn't want me to struggle in life. He wanted me to be financially stable and secure. So I understand everybody. Even my sister was worried. My aunts were worried. Like everybody was worried. But yeah, so basically I didn't tell him.
And they didn't tell you to go and see like a counselor. They didn't think there was something wrong. Like really? Because I actually understand what you said, and that's powerful about he wasn't doing that because he was trying to stifle your passion. He was more worried about the kind of life, well, judging by the fashion designers around him as at that time. Because I think it's just recently, we can say probably in the last 10 years or thereabout in Nigeria or in Africa that we can say that, yes, maybe there's now a little limelight on them and they're making like sizable income, just like footballers. I remember growing up, like, yes, we knew that there were footballers making in Europe but in Nigeria, like, no. But now you see parents dedicated and taking their kids for soccer practices because the world has morphed into that. So that's the space we live in. So thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Anyway, so if you have any daughter or son, I'm sure this generation, we know to push them in that direction, like just follow your passion, isn't it? It's not all about...
These days, it's not even entrepreneurship anymore. It's social media and maybe tech.
Yeah, tech. Definitely tech. So was Adéy Soile established? When was it established?
So Adéy Soile, our first collection was released October 2014.
Oh wow, that's almost 10 years. Almost 10 years actually.
Almost 10 years. Wow. Crazy.
Wow. Yeah. You look so young, like 10 years in next. Wow. 10 years.
I know.
Wow.
It's I can't believe it myself. But
well done. So what has been your challenges, running Adéy Soile? And before you tell me about your challenges, I'm just going to I know when you spoke about it, so you're just talking about you being a mom. And I think I just would like the viewers to know as well that you just recently relocated to Canada.
Yes.
So when I'm talking about your challenges, I would also want to have that at the back of your mind. Okay. When you tell us your challenges as a business owner or as an entrepreneur. Yeah. Okay.
So, challenges as an entrepreneur. One of my main challenges has been, the terrain, running a business in Nigeria. It's not for the faint-hearted.
Nothing for the faint-hearted.
It has its perks, but it's tough. Like you're your own government and you're your own fighter. You need to roll up your sleeves. It's not glam, it's not limelight. You roll up your sleeves and you work hard and get things done against all odds because things are generally trying to pull it down, but against all odds, you roll up your sleeves and you get. There are a lot of designers that I remember when I started my brand. There's so many brands, and it's tough to keep going. You have to be very resilient. You think you've conquered one issue, and then another issue comes around. So you're talking about unstable exchange rate, for instance.
Well, that went crazy a few weeks ago. So thank God there's a bit of normality coming to that space now.
I tell you, there was a time so the one time I produced internationally, I produced in Turkey some years ago, and I had gone to Turkey, worked with the vendors, signed with the factory, signed and everything. I think at the time I went to Turkey, dollar was 150. We had agreed rates and everything. By the time we were done, dollar was maybe 400 or something like that. Yeah. So bringing my products, it was a challenge.
Now you know why Adéy is $200 and something.
Other challenges would be, random local government people knocking on your door saying you owe them television licenses and things like that. There's one, then diesel as well. But more recently, I would say that one of my more recent challenges is moving to Canada, being a mom of a toddler, and running a business. That has proven to be quite a stretch for me. So we've been here a year, and I think I've spent this year just trying to understand Canada, understand this environment, understand the need in this environment for fashion, the fashion needs, because you're also talking about different seasons, right? So you have to understand, what do people want in different seasons? Do their needs change, or do they just throw a jacket or a coat over it and move? Another thing I've had to sort of balance is my time. Time management has been so important for me.
And how are you doing with that one?
And it's a struggle.
Yeah, I know, for me it's a struggle as well.
It's honestly a struggle. So I've had to be very deliberate about my time, very deliberate about my time on social media. Very, very deliberate about that. So in running a business, as everybody who runs a business knows, they're changing times. Every season is different, and every season comes with its own challenges. But you need to rise up to the occasion, face it squarely, and break it down and look at what steps you need to take to achieve the goal you want to achieve.
Okay, that's very, very powerful. So there was something you said about being in Canada and looking at the changes in terms of the season, because in Nigeria, I think you just had like the wet and dry season from what I remember. And now you have the winter, you have the summer, you have the spring.
Yeah.
So has that actually influenced your collection in terms of your design? I say that because I noticed that of recent, I've seen some of your customers have like a bespoke outfit being made for them, which I wasn't sure whether that's a new thing or whether that's always been part of your production. So has Canada influenced your artistic juices? Are you creating more? Can you tell us more about that?
So custom wear has always been part of what we do.
Okay.
We've always done it on the side. It's not something we generally promote, but it's something that we've always done. As to whether we are going to be doing it in Canada, it's still something I'm playing around with. I'm doing a lot of research and then even doing trial runs to see if it's something that's sustainable. Because to be honest, I don't want to go into something and have it ruin our brand reputation. So it needs to be something that we can do well if we're going to do it. So for now, it's still a question mark.
Okay, I like that. What is what doing is what doing well. If not, just don't do it at all. Often at times we tend to take things away from Nigeria, and there's this saying that, in Nigeria you import everything. So it's good to know that these designs are actually handmade in Nigeria. I think for me, that's a unique selling point, because I know that for every Adéy or any dress I buy from you, I'm actually I'm giving back to Nigeria. Really, I'm helping a family. I'm helping someone to stay employed. So that's actually very powerful.
And not only do we produce in Nigeria, our team is a team entirely of women.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know that.
So we have a lot of single mothers that work with us. Yeah, and to think that they are solely taking care of their families, and we're able to they're solely responsible for taking care of their children, and we're able to give them that is just amazing to me.
Now I'm emotional. Honestly, I think that's just because I never knew that. Honestly. Can I hug you?
Of course.
Oh. That's just powerful, and that's being really intentional, not just about making money, not just about yourself, but actually being intentional about helping people in need and providing that means for them to survive, to live, and that's powerful. Well done. See why I have like 5 pieces of Adéy Soile? There's a reason. Well done. Thank you. Okay, let's get back to Lu. Okay, so now one of the things you spoke about earlier about having the people. Now I've lost my talk because I was actually very touched by that. So let me soak it in. Honestly, I didn't know. Oh, okay. So Oh, you could sell it for me. That's how I prepared myself. Just give me this bombshell. Okay. So one of the questions I wanted to ask you when I was talking about your how is how did you arrive at the names? Because I noticed that they are like indigenous Nigerian names. So what is the inspiration behind that?
Adéy Soile, I mean, we're a clothing brand that provides timeless pieces for the modern woman, right? But no, it doesn't stop there. We transcend just clothing. We make clothing that make you feel good about yourself. So when we started out with workwear, right? Like the power dress. That was our thing. You know, a woman is strong. She can achieve whatever she wants to achieve. She's formidable, you know, and we made strong power dresses that could be worn in the boardroom. And at that time, our clothes were named after strong women around the world, powerful women around the world. We have a dress that's named after Shola David Bora. We have a dress that's named after Michelle Obama.
Yeah,
you know, we have those sort of dresses.
Yeah.
Over the years, you know, we've come to a point where we realize that yes, a woman is strong, and yes, a woman is formidable, but she's also soft. But she's also delicate. You know, that's the balance of it all. And then also, yes, she's a strong woman and she goes to work, but then what does she do on the weekends? You know, she has a life outside of work. So that's why we expanded our clothing to then include more like going out outfits and things like that. We started including lace. We started like we've always used African fabrics. So even before we would infuse ashoki into like the work dresses. We still do that. And then we started including adire into the work dresses. So the collection you're speaking about is the Adéy by Adéy Soile collection.
Okay.
And the Adéy by Adéy Soile collection was basically a collection that was very dear to my heart. I remember when I was thinking about it, I was thinking, you know, I wanted something that brought the ethos and the culture, our culture, and modernized it and brought it out. And I've always been intrigued by the orikis. I've always been intrigued by the Yoruba orikis, and you know, it's very sad that I don't know what my oriki is. Somebody should give me a nice oriki, please. I don't know what my oriki is.
Ajike, I like Ajike.
You like Ajike? Okay.
I don't know what it means though.
No.
No, Ajike means you wake up and you take care of the person.
Am I taking care of somebody? Somebody taking care of me?
No, taking care of you.
All right, I can roll with that. I can rock with that. So yeah, the orikis have always intrigued me, you know, and I felt like, you know, what better way to release this collection than, you know, using that, like, and it just, the orikis just always that like it just like, you know, just in my mind, like it was just always so the clothes are named after orikis,
just to show the and orikis always come from a place of love, isn't it? Because when you're trying to make someone feel special, that's like a special pet name.
Exactly. And then when I was doing the DDK, you know, that's what they do when they're praising and singing. Basically.
Anyway, so one of the things deciding on Tolude I Love the Females Know is asking the community to ask questions. So when we're bringing someone on, we ask them to ask questions. And boy, you have loads of questions. I'm just joking. Just a couple. So why the name Adéy Soile?
Okay, so I get asked this question a lot. It's just my name.
Well, because I was like, are you French?
It's just my name. You know what?
Are you French? I like Adéy Soile, yeah.
Even I had never heard of that name when before I met my husband. And I remember when I got married, people were asking me, you know, like, what name is this? And I said, yeah, my husband is French. And I was back at that, and then somebody was telling somebody else, because I told somebody my husband was French, and then she was talking to somebody else, and she goes, oh, do you know Tinuade's husband is French? And she goes, Tosin is French?
Tosin's grandfather is French.
So no, it's my name. So Adéy is from Tinuade.
Okay.
And then Soile is the surname, but the surname is actually pronounced Soile.
Okay. Oh,
Soile. But for the brand purpose, it's Soile. So Adéy Soile.
Okay, so people is from her names. Okay, and the next one says, where does she get her inspirations from? So you've spoken about the Adéy collection, which is from the orikis. So I think you kind of answered the question.
So my inspiration is gotten from like my experiences in life and my surroundings. You know, I'm inspired all the time. It could be by a building, you know, it could be a movie. I watched. It could be a place I have visited. It could be a painting. I mean, I'm inspired by people. It could be somebody that I saw and I'm like, oh gosh, I love this person's style. And I just imagine, you have an amazing style, don't worry. And I just imagine, okay, how will this person, how can I take this and like run with it? But ultimately, I'm inspired by the Adéy Soile woman. And the Adéy Soile woman is a woman who, like, she's a person in my head. Like, she's a mixture of, first of all, my mom, and then my clients. Over the years, we've built this woman who is formidable. She's stylish. She's just that it woman, that you just see. She walks into a room and, all heads turn and you don't know what it is, but she just has that something. So I think about, okay, where would she go at this time and how would she want to look? I'm inspired a lot by my clients and I listen to my clients. From when we started, my clients we're all getting older, so style changes a lot from, before where it was more like form fitted. Now everybody wants to be a bit more relaxed and comfortable and more mature. So yeah, I hope I've answered the question.
Yes, you have. Okay. And I must attest to the fact that when you talk about people feeling your outfit making people feel a certain way, I've worn your outfit a couple of times. I'm sure you guys can see from the clips. And every time I wore any of your pieces, I felt like, yeah, I've got loads of, when I wore the cream version of this with the camera on, I had loads of comments. Even when I was on the set, I was like, yeah, I'm the it. So
that's
what you said about wanting to feel like the it, I was like, yeah, it's all about me.
That's so amazing.
Yes,
that's
true. So I just want to tell you from a customer, like what you said about you wanting your pieces to tell that story, to make people feel that certain way. I'm a witness.
Oh, I'm so happy. Thank you.
Okay, so I think this is the last question I have for you. And the question says, did you train as a fashion designer or were you self-taught?
Okay, so when I started, I was Google taught.
Google
and YouTube. Oh, actually, especially YouTube. Oh goodness, did I watch a lot of YouTube when I started. Over the years, I've done courses. I've taken courses over the years, but I would say that when I started, I was self-taught for sure.
Okay. So I'm sure everybody's waiting because I think somebody asked a question about when you're having a 20% sale or something. So can you just tell the viewers, how can people purchase your pieces? And are you having any sale anytime soon?
Okay, so our pieces are available all around the world. We have amazing clients all over the world. On our website, www.adeysoile.com. We have on our Instagram at Adéy Soile, you can always send a DM and somebody will respond. We have a store in Lekki Phase 1 in Lagos. Address will be below. And we have a pickup center in Oakville in Canada. So those are the ways that you can get our pieces. Now, we go on sale once a year.
Sorry, guys.
We'll let you know. We always let you know when the sale is coming. But for the Aduke dress.
Okay.
Right, let's talk about the Aduke dress.
Just to tell you that we can get something. Let's see.
So the Aduke dress was when we were designing that collection or that dress, I wanted something so special that will stand the test of time and just make women feel beautiful and special. When you wear it, hug your curves the right way, but feminine. You just feel like a princess. I remember when Uche Gele and Uche was the campaign director for that project. She, when we're talking about it over lunch, and we said, we're thinking in terms of like the derby. You know how in England people dress up for the derby and it's all fancy. So that's what we were thinking about. And to be honest, the Aduke dress has surpassed my expectation. Like it's such an iconic dress. I have it in three different prints, and I wear them a lot. For Tolu's dialogues, I'll give her 15% off for 3 people for the Aduke dress.
So you had that just for 3 people. Yes. And because I bought my Adéy dress full price. See, can I get a refund?
Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see?
So you guys, you had that. So 15% off on Adéy dress just for 3 people. So the code to use is TD15, and please go to the website or send a DM for the first 3 people. So anybody that is lucky, I didn't get my own sale. I got my full price. Oh, hey, it's okay. It's okay. Thank you for the viewers. So I think I just want to really thank you. Thank you so much, Tinuade, for having us, myself and the crew here today. Invite us to your beautiful home. Thank you very much for having us. And if you guys know anybody, any solopreneur, entrepreneur that feels should be featured on Tolu Dialogues, please send us a DM or an email at info@toludialogues.com. So that's it from us on Tolu Dialogues. Thank you.
Bye.